Hello, Team Easy Dating. I am so pumped up. We've got the best interview of all time coming. Oh, this is the bonus interview. We're in bonus round. We've got Allison Armstrong. Allison, say hi to everybody.
Hi, everybody. Hello.
I am beyond pumped for this interview, Allison. Do you know how many of our friends were like, you got to get Allison for this summit? And I'm like, I'm going to try. And now we got you.
You've got me. I like to be gotten.
Yes. Let's go, Allison. All right. We've got so much to talk about, and I want to learn so much from you, so we better get going.
Okay.
What do you mean by love as a verb?
Well, since we're mostly talking to women, right?
All women.
All women. And thank goodness you're here, because you would be my, what I would call Insta panel, because a lot of the things I teach about men, women don't believe me, unless there's a man nodding his head. You guys can't see Mike right now, but he's nodding his head. And so what I mean by love as a verb is that most women relate to love as a noun. Love is a thing. And specifically, love is a feeling, right? So it's a thing that is a feeling, and I feel love for you. I have a feeling of love for you. And we put a lot of stock in that feeling of love for you, and it means a whole bunch of things. Like, if I feel love for you, that makes me do certain things, that makes me be compelled to do certain things, that makes me picture certain futures with you. It may make me feel vulnerable and like now you have power and I don't. If I feel love for you, in dating, a lot of women get wound up about who tells the other person that they love them first and what that causes. And there's the flip side of that, which is, if you feel love for me, therefore, right? There's a whole bunch of therefores. And then there's the ugly part is then there's the love tests, right? If you really loved me, you would. So far, so good? Anything you want to say?
So wait, there's if-then statements. So shouldn't love be like going, like shouldn't both people be doing this whole love thing, not an if-then statement?
Well, that would be a really good thing. And the whole thing of love as a verb is what most women don't understand, is that telling a man how much love you feel for him is not necessarily trustworthy. Because the way we say it is, men trust facts, not feelings. You have taught me this. I've been studying you guys since 1991. And facts are something that are observable. Facts have evidence. You can see a fact. So if for a woman, she has this overwhelming feeling of love for someone that doesn't translate into, how do I show you love? How do I love as a verb, as an action, as a way of relating to you? How do I express my love, demonstrate my love, not just tell you about my feeling, this big feeling I have. And so it gets all mixed up because a woman wants a man to demonstrate his love for her. If you really loved me, you wouldn't be late. If you really loved me, you'd wear my favorite shirt when we went to see my mother. In fact, you'd go see my mother without any complaint if you really loved me. But she doesn't tend to turn that around, that it's legitimate for him to experience her love by her behavior. And can I just give you an example?
Yes, I want one.
Okay. So one of the things that men pay attention to that women have literally asked me, what does that mean? And that is, do you have my back? Right? Do you have my back?
Yes.
You know the people who love you because they have your back.
Mm-hmm.
I would love for you to elaborate on that. I know to you it's obvious.
No, you're going to have to explain this to me. So, all right. So my girlfriend actually does say that to me all the time. She goes, do you have my back? And I go, yes, I do. So how does a woman or a man show that?
Well, it's the strangest thing. How you show you have somebody's back is you don't abandon them even when you think they're wrong.
Really?
Yeah, you don't abandon them even when you think they did something stupid again. You don't take them out in front of other people. You don't cause them to lose face by piling on your your deficiencies or shortfalls, or that was stupid, or I can't believe you did that. So you're not criticizing in front of other people. And for women, it's hard because we have an instinct, and this is a lot what my work is about, the difference between human instinct and human spirit, and love is an expression of human spirit. And women have an instinct that has us, it's really, really hard, but we are drawn to strength. So we're looking to be protected. That's our cave woman's one of our highest priorities is to be protected. And so we want to be with the biggest and strongest in any situation. And if we think you're wrong, right? Like we disagree with your opinion or your choice or your decision or the basis of your choice, then you're now not the strongest. Yeah. Go ahead. I love the nod.
I am nodding. I felt that, and I don't like when I feel that.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. It's scary for us, and it's scary for us. And our instinct says, to put it in crass terms, our instinct says jump horses, right? Like the horse I'm riding is lagging behind. This one's going past. Jump, because that one's going to win the race. And so it's another part of the metaphor. Have my back, stay on my back, stick with me, don't abandon me. Let me take you across the finish line. Believe in me. It's one of the biggest things that men need is to be believed in. And, oh yeah, I believe in you when you're right. I believe in you when you make good decisions.
All right, I got to play devil's advocate. Can I do that real quick?
Please. But can I just say, I wish both our faces were on the screen because your reactions are silent and priceless. And the women are missing them. They're missing my backup. My instant panel is your face, not saying anything. And so if the screen only switches for volume, then they're missing half what's going on.
Tell me I'll make a noise so they get my face, but thank you. I appreciate that. My mind's blown by this. I've never heard this. This is brand new to me, so I'm excited. All right, but I've got to ask you this, Allison.
Okay.
All right. So couples been together for a while, maybe even married, and been together for 10, 15, who knows? But anyway, the guy, they're hanging out with the family, and they're with the guy's with the wife or girlfriend's parents, and says the most boneheaded thing ever to his wife's mom. So does she have the back of her mom or her husband?
Well, if she is going to be in partnership, which is my passion, with her husband, she might look at him because he may not have registered that his mother-in-law's face just blanched. And she might look at him and go, I'm not sure that came out right, honey. so he can correct. Do you know, is that what you meant to say? And you can actually have agreements about this, right? Because one of the things I love about men is you guys tell me this all the time. Like sometimes I'm boneheaded. Sometimes I say stupid things. So if it can be a kindness and actually can be really loving and like, honey, you may not have noticed because you're so passionate about what you're saying, but I think my mom might have misunderstood what you just said. Do you have another way of saying that? So she can have your back. She's on your side. She believes in the good person and good intentions that you have, and the fact that you just wiped out her mother. Clearly you didn't mean to do that. Of course you wouldn't mean to do that.
So it's not a bad thing. It's an opportunity to grow closer together, really.
Yeah. It could be. Or she could look at her mom, roll her eyes, and go, yeah, I know. Can you believe I'm still married to him?
No, that's not good.
No. That would be the opposite.
Yes. All right. Talk to me about this love thing we're talking about as a verb, which I love. How do men experience it differently than women?
Well, it's fascinating to me because, I mean, most people are familiar with Gary Smalley's work, The 5 Love Languages. Mm-hmm. And I love that work, and I think it's a really good place to start a conversation from. And for people who aren't familiar with it, you know, he distinguishes that one of the things that happens between people is that how we speak love and how we hear or experience love may not be the same. And we often speak love to people the way that we hear love, and they may hear it completely different. So, for example, my husband, his biggest love language is acts of service. That's seriously how he expresses love for people. So you pull your car into our driveway, it gets washed, and he doesn't tell you. It's a surprise car wash, a secret car wash. And you may or may not notice your car got washed. He does so many things for me, it can be overwhelming because he's always looking for more ways to take care of me and express his love for me. Now, if a woman doesn't know that how a man expresses his love for her is by all these ways he's taking care of her, she may get annoyed by it. Like that's not a very manly way to act. Do you know? Doing that for me isn't very manly. You should act more manly, but you should, write me notes and tell me, you love me 5 times a day and send me texts and respond to my text within 14 seconds of my having sent it, right? So there can be a lot of confusion if we don't actually come out and ask, which is human instinct has a don't ask, don't tell policy. Seriously, both men and women, don't ask and don't tell. But we all need to. We need to ask and we need to tell. Like asking you, Mike, what has you experienced being loved by your girlfriend? What is it that she does that when she does that, you experience that she loves you?
Ooh, can I tell you?
Please.
Oh, you know when I feel love? I am so busy with these summit videos, and she is the most magnificent woman on the planet. And sometimes I don't have time to eat because I'm just so busy with work. Yes. And she will cook my meals sometimes at night, knowing that she has to go to work the next day just so that I have 10 minutes to chow something down real fast. Yes. Or I probably wouldn't get to eat a meal. And it is amazing. I look in the fridge and I go, whoa, she loves me.
Yes, that's exactly what I mean by love as a verb. She doesn't matter she's tired, doesn't matter she has her own stuff to do. She takes the time to make you food food is love to many, many people. That you made me food. You made me food. You stopped at the store on the way home and you got my favorite food. Wow, that feels like love. And I mean, that's one of the things that went out the window, like as a menial task for a woman to cook for a man. And so many of us, have to be above all that. Even if we want to cook for you, we're not supposed to want to cook for you.
Why not?
Why not? Yes. What else? What else has you experienced being loved?
Experiencing love. That's a great question. I think when she asks me to do things and then I get appreciation for it. Should I give you an example? Oh, so she'll be at work and I work out of my home, which is this office. And packages come to our, I live in the city type area, so it comes to our, whatever it's called down there. Anyway, packages, I go outside, it's cold out, it's like 30 degrees right now, and I go get the package, it's her package, I bring it up, and then when she sees the package, she's like, oh my God, thank you so much for getting the package, hug, kiss, like you're so great, it was so heavy, and you helped me, that's wonderful.
Awesome. And you feel loved.
Yes.
And you actually said one of the buzzwords that I've heard from men all the time, that you feel loved when you are appreciated and you feel loved when you're supported. So food supports you, right? Supports all your endeavors, food, and you get appreciated for doing something like go out in the cold and get her a package. And I would imagine to you that it seems like the appreciation is not too much in excess, but a little bigger than it actually took for you to do that.
Yes. I got her trained, I think.
Well, but if appreciation's overblown, then it's like, what, you think I'm lame and I couldn't do that? Right? But if it's underappreciation, then, well, that wasn't worth doing. But if it's if it's some more than it actually took the energy for you to do that, and it's completely sincere, completely heartfelt, that's love.
Yeah, I think that's the most important piece, what you just talked about, the sincerity. Mm-hmm. If it's not like, if obviously I'm a dating coach, so I tell her what I like to hear. And if she was just like, you are the greatest and strongest man on the planet, and all I did was give her a pencil, I'm like, all right, I guess you're faking it.
Great. Well, can I say something about that sincerity thing?
Yes.
So, sincere means, the word means that the words and the feeling match. Okay? And to me, for men, it's that and more. That one of the things that men think about themselves is that you're insensitive. That's one of the things that you say, you're insensitive, you don't pick up on feelings, you don't pay that much attention to feelings. And I think that's true at a conscious level, but men tend to be quite kinesthetic. So your gut feelings are very much trusted, and you have a sense of things. And if what a person is saying is incongruent with the feeling you're picking up from them, then none of it's to be trusted, right? If the feeling you're picking up is congruent with the words, okay, but the actions aren't congruent, right? Not to be trusted. That you actually need that integrity, that the feeling you're picking up on, the words that are being said, and the actions that are being taken are all in alignment. And that you trust, that you will take to the bank. It was observable. It was observable at all those levels and consistent. Which is why women can't talk a good game. right? Or say they feel love for you and then they're tearing you down and expect you to, but I love you. You should marry me because I love you. No, that would be really stupid.
Oh, I know what I must ask you.
Okay.
So you talk about men need to experience it and see the facts.
Uh-huh.
So I forget who, I think John Gray or somebody was talking about how men have 25% more receptors from their eyes to their brain in comparison to women. So do you think that has a lot to do with why men need to kind of like see the love as opposed to be express the love?
Well, I mean, I would say that's the same, right? If it's truly expressed, you can see it.
Mm-hmm.
And if you look at it um, from a survival point of view, men being visual as men are, is a highly efficient way to collect and sort information. To just be able to know by seeing would be critical to all the situations that a man normally puts himself in positions of needing to protect, right? Which takes quick reactions. Needing to provide, which takes quick reactions, right? Whether it's getting out of the way or getting after the thing. And it also applies to the number one instinct, which is procreate. And this is one of the things that bothers women because they assume that what men perceive visually is superficial. And I wrote an article years ago called Superficial or Super Perceptive, because as a man, you actually can see qualities in a woman that not only have you be physically attracted to her, but would have you fall in love with her, want to take care of her, want to provide for her, want to make her happy. All those qualities are visible. They're in her face, in her eyes, in her smile, in the way she walks, in the way she carries her body. They all can be seen. So that love at first sight thing, it happens, love at first sight. As one man said, it happens many times every day. Right? We have an idea love at first sight should mean now, therefore, we're going to get married and have babies. No, you see in women qualities that are lovable, that inspire. Oh, he's nodding his head, you guys. You can't see it.
It's happening. I'm nodding. Look, I'm nodding. I agree with all of this.
Yeah, and it's one of the things that I love about you guys, and it's part of how we can't fake it. You guys have, BS meters that, I mean, I wish they could be patented and sold, and it's why I tell women all the time, if you're getting into a guy, have one of your guys, one of your men, your sheepdogs, come meet him. Have him meet him sooner rather than later, please, before you sleep with him, because he will know. He will know instantly if this is a good guy or not, if this is a bad guy, if this really is a good guy at heart who just happens to be peeing on the rug. You should give him a chance. Or if this is a wolf, and honey, steer clear of him. Oh, but he's just been through a lot. I can rehabilitate him. No, you can't rehabilitate wolves. You guys know this, and you pick up on it so fast, and you don't do what women do, but he's so sweet, he's so cute, I should give him the benefit of the doubt. And you're like, no, you should get rid of him. That would be my dating advice. Have the men who love you check out the men you're thinking about loving.
I love that. That's such great advice. And I never knew that we were so good at this. But
you're so good at it.
Really?
Yeah.
I got to hang out with you more. I feel like the compliments towards males just keep coming. And I'm like, all right, I'm feeling good about myself. It's good.
Well, all right. Do you know this about me, Mike, that when I started studying men in 1991, if I was being completely honest, I would just say I hated them.
Really?
Yeah.
So what was your turning point?
When I stopped talking and started listening and started believing you, that when I got curious about why you do what you do, the motivations are they're beautiful. Most of the time they're beautiful, and you guys acknowledge when they were boneheaded. But just like women, you know, you have human instincts and you have human spirit, and the thing I found out is we're the ones that often bring out the worst in you, and then we think that's who you are. And that's what's not fair. That's what I've been on a campaign against for all these years. It's like kicking a dog and the dog bites you or runs away and you blame it all on the dog. You don't notice the kick.
I love that. Yes. Allison, you are the best.
Thank you.
All right. I want to talk about something that we were hitting on a second ago.
Okay.
Ooh, ha, ha, ha. So we were talking about like backing up your man.
Mm-hmm.
What's the difference between being behind the person versus being behind his plan?
Oh boy. There's a huge difference, and it mostly shows up as either or for people, especially like in business. And I think the real trick of partnership is to get behind the people who are behind the plan. And basically what it's distinguishing is that whether you're a man or a woman, when you commit to a particular result or a goal or even a destination, which a destination could be a goal, or a destination could be get married, or a destination could be a physical location, like get the whole family to the park. Anytime we commit to something specific, it shapes, it doesn't even shape, it determines the way that we think. It determines what we see as actionable. It determines what we hear as relevant and gets screened out by our brains as irrelevant. It's what has, for example, a man in warrior and protect mode not realize that he's been stabbed because it was irrelevant to the result. So his brain shielded him from that because producing the result depended upon not being distracted by that. And anytime you commit to a result, other qualities show up. In this case, specifically accountability. And one of the ways you can tell someone's being accountable is they have a plan. Anyone who says they're accountable for something and you say, so what's the plan? And they say, I don't know. If they say, I don't know yet, I'm still figuring it out, that's good. If they're like, oh, I don't know, we're going to wing it, that's not being accountable and that's not committed. He's nodding, you guys.
Sure am.
So plan is all part of being committed to something specific, and it causes in the brain a kind of focus. And most men, most of the time, live in this state. We call it hunting. You're mostly in a hunting mode. You go from one commitment to another. You transition from one commitment to another. You even rest in order to be ready for the next commitments. He's nodding again, you guys.
So true.
Exactly. So most men, most of the time, are in hunting mode. And the other mode, which is being open, so open to options, open to possibilities, open to alternatives, we call that gathering mode. And most men, most of the time, are only in gathering mode when you're at what I would call play, which would not be a competitive state. So it's not play like play sports, we're going to win. That's hunting the victory. But play like you truly are open to what could show up. and you have a completely different consciousness, and you're very available to connect over whatever's happening. And women tend to fall in love with men when your focus is with us. So either you're open and so we can connect, or we have the same objective. So we're connecting over the result. This is why a lot of things happen in the workplace, because this connection is happening because of a shared result. And it's electrifying. But what happens is, if a woman's trying to connect and you're all about the result, and she asks you for something or tries to connect with you in a way that is not in alignment with the plan, then bad things happen. And she often ends up with her feelings hurt, and you don't care about me, right? Or in the reverse, if a woman's committed, for example, I'm going to get married. I want to be married in the next 12 months. And the man is not ready to be married because he hasn't ticked off his boxes of what needs to be handled before you have any business getting married. And so because she's committed to getting married and he's not ready to get married, she's not behind him as a human being accomplishing what he wants to accomplish. She goes and finds the person who's ready to get married. So both men and women can get behind the plan and stop being behind the person. Does that make sense?
I think I'm like 95% of the way there. Let's use an example, and maybe you can get me all the way there, and hopefully the people that are watching too, because this is like amazing, groundbreaking stuff, but it's a little complicated.
Yeah, people are.
Yes, they are. All right, so let's use a real example, and we're gonna get there.
Those were all real examples, but go ahead.
Okay, another one. No, that was perfect. Sorry. All right. So, guy has a plan to. He comes up with a plan to go. Actually, this is a side question. He's got a plan to go move to New York City, and they're in New Jersey right now, and he wants to live in the city. And they live together in New Jersey. He comes up with this plan, but she wants to stay in New Jersey and get married and have babies. But he still wants to do that too, but like transition maybe in the next year or two out to the suburbs. So how does this whole plan versus behind the guy, like how do they figure this whole dynamic out?
This sounds interestingly real, Mike. With this happen to be a personal example?
It's kind of close, but I changed a few things.
Okay, so there's a whole bunch that you have thrown in, and I'm not going to answer like a solution. I'm going to give you things to interact with instead for everybody that's more powerful. And that would be, one is, if you want to be behind the person and the plan, let's say your man has a plan, and you can say, so what's my part of the plan? And he might say, there's nothing I need you to do. Okay, so then how do I support you in everything there is for you to do? Right? So that would be behind the person who's behind the plan. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I support
100%.
the plan by supporting you. That's called food in the refrigerator.
Yes.
Right? In one example, she's behind the person and behind the plan, what you're executing. Or it could be, all right, so I get your plan, and can you tell me the most important parts of that plan? And here's going to throw a tricky thing. If you're really going to be in partnership, it's important to talk before the plan is set.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so when a man is, well, I'm thinking I want to live in the city for at least a year and a half, before we have babies and raise them in the suburbs, right? Okay, what else are you thinking about? Well, and I'm thinking I want to do this, and I'm thinking I want to do that. Okay, I'm with you so far. And here's a phrase that if I had it all my way, everyone would use this phrase. And the phrase is, if I had it all my way. Okay, so I'm with you so far, and if I had it all my way, we would move in the spring after the snow is melted. Because I can't get my act together to move now, and I don't want to move in the snow. Could that work in your plan? Well, I hadn't thought about that. I hadn't even gotten to the when yet. Oh, right? Well, and if I had it on my way, we would live in a walk-up in the city, but not past the second floor. Oh, okay, well, I think I can include that. All right, move in the spring, second floor, no higher, right? So there's this conversation about, could your plan include results that matter to me, include things that matter to me, that if it included that, it would be a plan for both of us.
Oh, Allison, that was amazing. I don't know how you did that. I want to like replay that over and over and over and over again for all the women. She somehow like allowed the man to still have his plan, but got all the things that she, the woman, needed within the plan, but made him still feel like he's leading the charge and he's doing it. Oh my God, that was magnificent.
Yeah, and just the way you said that, I'm afraid women will interpret it. I made you feel like the man was still leading the plan. That's only true if that's actually what was happening. There are women who try to make a man feel like he's leading when she's really manipulating. But all I did was ask you to have something in the plan, your plan, that would provide for me, right? Which that providing for me would allow me to get totally behind the plan, right? And mostly men especially don't share their plans with other people because they're used to them being criticized, second guessed, foiled, right? And so it's a victory of human spirit for a man to even say, I'm starting to make a plan. And before I get too far down the road, I want to know what matters to you, because this plan's for both of us. And that's one of the things that would allow that to be possible.
All right, so let's get into this. So the two parties get together early and come up with like, I want this, I want that. And let's say they're a little different. They know they want to be together, but still let's say the woman's like, no, I'm not doing New York City. And he's like, I must do New York City. So how do you find the win-win with your beautiful way of orchestrating this whole thing?
Well, I mean, I love that you give that example because it happens so much in real life, and it creates that pickle that we were talking about in the beginning, of that it would be easy at that point to say, if you loved me, you'd give up New York City. Well, if you loved me, you'd come to New York City with me. That's what I mean by a love test. And
that can't be healthy.
Yeah, a lot of things fall apart at that point. So one thing that would be good is to get curious. And if you're going to ask me what is my love language, besides, the ones that Gary Smalley knows about, it would be curiosity. Curiosity to me is a love language. To be curious is to love. And I actually looked it up in the dictionary, and the origin of the word curious is the word care. It comes from the word that means care, to care. So to care is to be curious. So instead of just going head to head, like, there's no way I'm going to New York City. Okay, that's my first reaction is, there's no way I'm going to New York City. okay, let's back it up a second. First, could you tell me what is it about New York City that matters to you so I could understand why you have to do this? And then if you give me some time to think about what would I need to be not just willing to move to New York City, but if not exactly happy to, on board for it without complaint, right? Maybe even could get happy about it. And what we found is when people don't want to provide something for somebody else, it usually has to do with what they're picturing that it means, that could just be a hallucination, and they don't understand the reason. They don't understand what it would mean to that person. And when someone you love starts telling you what it would mean to them, that's what's in it for me. Do you know if it means that to you? Okay, you've had this dream since you were a boy of living in a city. There's opportunities for your career in the city that you can't take advantage now because all the transportation. If you had 2 years in the city, you could kick butt in all these areas and then we'd be so set for our future, and you really need the opportunity to do that. And like everything that you said to me about why the city mattered, that actually has me start thinking, okay, where in the city could I live? Okay, if you can get me near Washington Heights, Mike, I will go to New York City for you.
That's so interesting. So when you love your significant other so much and you get curious and you find out why they want things, you want to give that to them, and then you find something that could work for both of you. Whoa.
Yeah, like 2 years ago, I told Greg that I wanted a dog, and he'd known I'd wanted a dog since my dog died, but his reaction was just like, oh, I don't want a dog. It just like, because he takes care of all the animals, and we had 2 dogs at that time, but none of them were mine. They belonged to our children, and 2 horses and a donkey and 3 cats. So there's a lot of animals, right? But then he took a chill pill and he said, okay, what do you want a dog for? 15 minutes later, when I was done answering the question, what I wanted a dog for, now it was worth it for him, everything that me having a dog would require. And he gave me the dog I wanted that he was objecting to for my birthday. He gave it to me. And we just talked about it. It was 2 years ago, and we just talked about it. He's like, he had no idea that it would even be so much more than I told him at the time, and he doesn't regret the decision for a moment.
Aww.
Yeah. And same thing, like when I got to tell him why I wanted to live in the country and how I'd given up living in the country to be with him, which I did, but the dream didn't go away. And so he went away and he thought about it and came back and said, I want you to have me and your dream. Oh. And yeah, 2 months later, we bought a house in the country. So what it would provide for me is so important. And Mike, you probably know from me, and if you've interviewed Wendy Newman and Ken and all the other guys who studied with me for a long time, you know, I inevitably I'm going to talk about sex. And that this is one of the biggest things that men and women don't understand is what it provides. Like a lot of men don't understand what foreplay provides for a woman and why it matters. Most women don't understand what sex, period, provides for a man. And so it's another area, like all these areas, we need to talk about what it would provide. Mm-hmm. And then we need to be curious and honor, what would you need to be happy to provide that for me? Mm. And if it's not something I need, that doesn't make it invalid.
Love this. Oh my God, you've got like the wheels are spinning. I'm going to have to rewatch this probably like 15 times. This is amazing. I love that, like what your husband did. He's like, if I give her this, I'm going to get a load of appreciation And every time she's out in the country, I can keep getting appreciation because she'll be like, I love it here, I love it here, I love it here. And I'll be like, I did it, I got her here. And
yeah,
he's a genius, and so are you.
Thank you. And well, two things. One is, it happened just this morning. It was maybe 30 degrees out, like you guys. I was out in the pasture throwing the chuck-it. You know what a chuck-it is, right? For my border collie. It allows a weak person, to throw a ball really far.
Oh.
A tennis ball. So I could throw it across the pasture. And so my border collie is chasing the chuck-it. I'm brushing my 2 horses and my donkey. I'm throwing rocks into the pond that I'm filling up to grow more hay. I'm drawing out where I'm going to dig a new pond for them to take, because they like to take baths in the ponds, and where I'm going to dig it with my tractor that he gave me, because all the reasons that would make me happy. And I'm out in, the mountains and the fresh air, and I'm just standing there going, oh my gosh, I have the best life. And always what's there is that he gave this to me, and he gives it to me all the time because he loves the city, and he needs the city. He actually needs it to recharge. He has to go to the city. And so we just keep paying attention. Like, what do you need? What do you need? And it's not convenient what he needs, but so not convenient. And I don't need any of it. We literally take him to cities. Take him to cities, send him to cities to go sit there and soak up all that city human energy that he has to have. And oh gosh, I'm just going to leave it there. But, he's a car guy, okay? And he never drives the same car 2 days in a row. It'd be very rare to do that. So that's a whole other thing. The cars, which have to be kept at a certain temperature in the heated garage at 7,000 feet elevation. There's some really important things. But if I were to invalidate all that, then how could he keep supporting me? If I'm not going to support him? And support is love as a verb.
Whoa, you brought it full circle.
I did it.
Oh my God. This was like the most magnificent interview ever. And I hate to end it, but I know that you have a client call in a second. Allison, you are fantastic. I enjoyed the crap out of this. And I can't wait to watch this again and again, and then show my girlfriend. And we've learned a lot. And that conversation was somewhat close to home. And now we've got a strategy. I did change some things, but...
Yeah, you changed a few things to protect the innocent?
Yes. She's not here to defend herself. Anyway, well, you are magnificent. Thank you so much. I love this.
You're very welcome. I knew I was going to love being with you, and thank you. It was even better than I thought it would be.
Yes. Allison Armstrong, everyone. Oh my God, she's magnificent. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Bye, everybody.
Bye.